Welcome back to the platform. I hope you all had a great 4th of July weekend and some relief from this extreme heat. I'm one that's allergic to extreme heat, so for me, this kind of weather makes me miserable. We've had 25 deaths so far reported from the heat wave, so take heed, folks. If you have pets outside, please make sure they have water. Really, I should be saying just take them inside. But if they are outside, please just don't forget about them. And also, I almost hate to say this, but more importantly, please don't get so preoccupied with work, bills, Facebook, domestic situations, etc., that you forget you have kids in the vehicle. Every year, we endure the tragic stories of children succumbing to heat after being left behind in a hot car. We have to stop that, folks. And prayers up for those angels. Now, please hit the like button for me one time. And again, thank you all for tapping in. We're covering a story that's difficult to report because it reminds us just how quickly life can change. According to investigators, at about 9:10 on July 1st, 2026, an ordinary trip ended in unimaginable tragedy on Interstate 75 in Oakland County, Michigan. A young family was pulled over on the shoulder of the highway, and within moments, 4 people were dead.
I-75 closed at Grange Hall this morning, and we're only moving 38 miles an hour. I'm not sure if we can take the MDOT camera, but you can see that backup there starting to get worse in this area. Now, we also have video from earlier this morning. We have confirmed with Michigan State Police that there are 4 dead in this crash that happened last night, 2 adults and 2 children. You can see a pickup truck on the side of the road here in a ditch in this area. A very tragic situation, and there's no word yet on how long it's going to be taking Michigan State Police to investigate this deadly crash.
This report contains details about the investigation that are still allegations before the court, and as always, every defendant is presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. Let's have a closer look. Michigan State Police say the victim's vehicle, a Chrysler 300, had come to a complete stop on the shoulder of southbound I-75 near East Holly Road in Michigan. Investigators say the family was no longer traveling in traffic. According to authorities, they were simply stopped alongside the roadway for a tire repair. Then, according to prosecutors, a Ford F-250 pickup truck driven by later identified as Charles Dean Pace, 27, of Virginia, entered the shoulder and struck the vehicle with devastating force. Authorities say all 4 members of this beautiful young family lost their lives. The victims have been identified as Tyree Powell, Zarikia Sharon Dotson, 3-year-old Nalani Powell, and 2-year-old Carter Powell. 4 lives, 2 of them just beginning, not even of sin. Our thoughts and prayers are with everyone who knew and loved them. And I ask all of you watching to put this family in your prayers tonight. Now, we have a clip of the great aunt of Tyree Powell in an interview. And I must say, this is a very strong woman. She's clearly upset. I'd even say pissed about the tragedy. But in this interview, she keeps her composure.
Tyree was your nephew.
Yes, yes.
This is just has to be so devastating.
Yes, it is. I got the call, about 5 something this morning. I had got the call that, they thought it was my son, because my son's name is Tyree Powell. And, but it wasn't, because he's named after him.
Yeah.
But found out it was my nephew, great nephew.
How on earth are you processing this news?
I'm not processing it at all. And especially those babies. You know, they got killed in the car accident too.
Tell me about who Tyree was as a person and Seemed like he was just doing all the right things.
He was doing all the right things. I wish my brother would have been here, because my brother and his wife, which is Robert Powell and Sherry Powell, they adopted them and they raised him and his two other siblings and stuff. They stayed out in Waterford and they did a fantastic job. So I saw Tyree every now and then, you know, but still every time he would come around and stuff, you know, I would give him a little change, and he said he was on the right track. He had became a little mechanic. So he was doing mechanical work, and he was just at my house a couple of days ago with my son, and my son was telling him, you know, make sure you be on the right track and don't get into no trouble. And all of a sudden this didn't happen.
And it's, you know, from what MSP was telling me, they were pulled over on the side of the road and this happened. They didn't do anything.
No.
It's just innocent victims.
Yes. And the two babies and Tyree.
Man, yeah, you just tell me, what's on your heart right now?
I'm just hurting. That's why I got these glasses. So I've been crying ever since this morning. So, and I'm trying to get in touch with my niece, which is his mother, to try to find out what's going on and what we can process right now. Because we just lost my mother, which is his great-grandmother. And then I just lost my brother-in-law. He was a police for Pontiac Department. And so we just going through a lot right now. And now trying to get over this, to bury them all. And it's just a lot. It's overwhelming.
And those two children, just innocent babies, taken so soon.
Yes, don't even have a life. They didn't even get a chance to live a life. So.
Anything else anything you want to share, ma'am? I know it's just so sudden, all of it.
I'm just hurt. I'm devastated. I wish justice do be, you know, taken, you know, with this right here that's going on and stuff. I'm just overwhelmed. I don't know what to say. I'm just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I'm hurt. My family is hurt. We're all getting ready to meet on the other side of town to try to see what we're going to do and just take it from there.
Other family members have also begun speaking about the loss.
First off, it took like everything from me. You know, our mother just passed away not too recently.
Devontae Powell is the brother of Tyree Powell.
The grief is still fresh for those affected, and for many relatives, I'm sure that kind of pain is difficult to put into words. According to court records, Charles Dean Pace has now been charged with multiple felony offenses, including 4 counts of second-degree murder and 4 counts of operating while intoxicated, causing death. The burden now shifts to the state to prove those allegations beyond a reasonable doubt in court, which shouldn't be too hard to do in this case. At a bond hearing, a judge denied bond. Pace will remain in custody while the criminal case moves forward, and that's good because that's where he belongs.
Judge, I want to thank the pretrial services who did a pretty thorough job on his background. I can stress a little bit that I have met his father, Mr. Pace's father, mother, brother, and the girlfriend. They were in my office last week, so they do exist, and he does have a very close relationship with them. He did go to high school, did not get a college degree, but he's been working for almost 10 years at a tool company where his territories are the Midwest area of Michigan. In 2020, he did have an alcohol-related offense. He was 21 then. As far as mental health issues, back then in 2020, he did go into a rehab facility voluntarily and to have some issues dealt with, not just substance abuse or alcohol abuse, but mental health issues, and he resolved those. Has not been in trouble or seen any really court issues until now. He was on some mental health medications some time ago, but was able to wean off of them. I have heard the arguments by the pretrial services. I've also heard the arguments by the assistant prosecutor. I'm asking the court for a reasonable bond, Judge, and I would leave that in your discretion. I would just ask that all of the requirements and the subsections of the court rules regarding bond be taken into consideration. Thank you.
All right, I appreciate the allocution on behalf of your client, Mr. Moab. Based on the circumstances here, 4 capital offenses, it doesn't get much more serious than this. the fact that the defendant is out of state, does not have a release address in Michigan. Defendants or the court's going to exercise this option under the Michigan court rules and deny bond at this time on these cases, on these charges, I should say. So bond is denied as the case 26-1521FY.
Prosecutors are expected to rely on crash reconstruction evidence, witness testimony, toxicology evidence, and other forensic findings. Those details will likely become clearer as the case proceeds through the court system. This Pace fella, folks, is facing some very serious felonies here. Oakland County prosecutors made the decision to pursue second-degree murder charges against Pace. Many fatal drunk driving crashes are prosecuted under operating while intoxicated, causing death. Usually, second-degree murder is a more serious charge, of course. Generally speaking, prosecutors pursue that charge when they believe the evidence demonstrates an extreme disregard for human life. Michigan State Police investigators said Pace was traveling at speeds exceeding 90 miles an hour and weaving between lanes before the crash. Investigators also reported that Pace's blood alcohol level was more than 3 times the legal limit. Here's more information on Pace, and this definitely doesn't help his case.
That's what we learned in court about Pace, and after going to Virginia Judiciary online website, I learned he had several traffic-related offenses he pleaded guilty to. Like a DWI case in 2020 where he served a year of probation, improper driving in 2022, and being fined for speeding 20 over the limit in the same year.
Cases like this often leave communities searching for answers. How does something like this happen? Could it have been prevented? And how does a family begin to rebuild after suffering such overwhelming loss? And it's sad because those questions may never have any satisfying answers. Really sad. As journalists, it's easy to become focused on court filings, criminal charges, legal proceedings, etc. But before this became a case, before it had a headline, it was a family. Parents, children, people with birthdays to celebrate, plans for tomorrow, and loved ones who expected to see them again. And now they won't, because a drunk with a mental health issue history from Virginia decided to drive in a stupor. If new verified information is released, we'll bring you those updates. Until then, we encourage everyone to drive responsibly, remain alert behind the wheel, and remember that every decision made on the road can affect countless lives. Consider subscribing to the Plug to Power platform for fact-based reporting and thoughtful analysis. I'm Kev, and I gotta go. Thank you for watching. And please, keep this family in your prayers tonight.